Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Straight to the Core, our no nonsense, no frills. I forget. I don't have it pulled up. No
Guide to
frills.
physical therapy and
Yeah.
everything entrepreneur in the business of physical therapy.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Straight to the Core, an in-depth, no-nonsense look into all things physical therapy, wellness, and the business of being healthy. We're your hosts. I'm Claire.
And Mark. And this is not related to work at all.
No, to any of that
This
I just said.
is spousal related.
Probably falls within the realm of the business of being healthy, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, marriage health is important and not always the easiest thing to do when you work with your spouse every day, all day, no matter what. You can't get away.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Can't get away.
365 days.
Yeah. We've been married coming up on 14 years. We've been working together for 9 years. Our contact hours, if you calculate them conservatively, are equivalent to a 53-year
Yes,
marriage.
like a 3-to-1 ratio with the amount of hours that we spend together during the day.
Yeah, and we still hang out and we still vacation together and we enjoy each other's company. And
Yeah, and sometimes we drive together, which, side note, if you've ever been driven home after a long day's work, it's kind of nice.
Especially when the driver is me and I'm a good driver.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
what's the topic today,
The topic
Mark?
today is something near and dear to my heart. We are going to discuss the top 3 pet peeves we have with our spouses. We can all probably relate to this, and I don't know that I can just narrow it down to 3. They're all small and petty.
Already offended.
I feel like pet peeves are kind of petty, but they're so important. So
Yeah, this is not like a character assassination by any means, because I also have.
We have our lists.
I wrote down 4.
Well, I have actually 5, but
Great.
These are the top 3, and then I'll
Great.
have the honorable mentions at the end.
Fantastic. Well, who wants to start?
I'll start.
Great.
Okay, so my number 1 pet peeve with my spouse.
I know what this one is, actually. We each exchanged one of our pet peeves with the other person so we could at least have time. Wow.
Yeah.
We
Are
could
you
at
ready
least have
for
time
this?
for a rebuttal. So, yeah,
right.
I know what this one is.
All right, this is the one that gets me the most. At the end of my life, I will not sit around and say these words. I wish I spent more time waiting. I spend a decent amount of time waiting for my wife, whether it's waiting to get ready, waiting to get out of the car, waiting for her to get something out of her purse. You ask this woman to get something out of the purse, it could be 30 minutes.
Well, because it's probably a very specific spot in a pouch, in a zipper compartment.
This is my segment. And so I do wait a lot. Now, my wife, she says she's medium maintenance. She probably is in some capacities because she can go out without a lot of maintenance. But I do wait a lot. And she used to despise the fact that I would linger around the bathroom when she's getting ready and like bother her and slow her down.
It was the slowing down part.
Yeah,
I didn't
she would say I
hate that you
slow
lingered.
her down. And now I just like remove myself and go do something totally different. And she's like, oh, well, I kind of missed the fact that you used to like hang around.
Is that what it sound like?
No, I can't speak that high pitched, but
I think any female out there listening, so like all 3 of them, would probably agree that I'll be like mid eyeliner moment or like mid mascara moment, and you're like, hey, can you button my button? Or like, hey, can you fix my collar?
Yeah.
And like I have to stop what I'm doing, sigh, and then turn my attention back to what you're doing.
I think women sometimes forget that men are very simple creatures. And
I think we're very aware of that.
I think you forget about it sometimes. We don't have that many emotions. And so patience is not usually a great male quality. Anyway.
I think women, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But like, I think the women that enjoy the process of getting ready, like we enjoy it, right? Like if we're going to go out to dinner and we decide, hey, let's go like down the road, we get a last minute reservation someplace. Cool. We're in, right? Like I can fix my hair real quick, change a pair of earrings, and then I'm out the door.
However, there's always an outfit change.
There's almost always an outfit change.
And so that goes into my waiting. We'll have an outfit that's ready to
sometimes,
go.
sometimes
and
the
then
outfit
she changes
in my
it.
head, how it looks, is not what it looks like on my body. And then I'm like, I'm out of ideas because this is what I've already had in my head that I'm going to wear.
It's the shoes too. Like there's a shoe. She'll come out with a dress on and there's two shoes that look basically identical. And she's like, no, they don't look identical. They do.
No, they don't look identical.
And, I know you probably know this, but if you don't, men don't look at women's shoes, right?
No,
we don't
I
care
obviously
about
am
shoes.
picking out shoes for other women.
Yeah, well, I don't know that anybody's like
Although
looking at your
now
shoes.
that I'm older, it's for comfort, right? Like I have a brunch heel versus like an evening dinner heel.
I don't
But
think
either
you
way.
always wear shoes for comfort. Let's be quite honest.
No, sometimes it's purely for aesthetics and how it looks on the outfit. But like if we have dinner plans and I know that we have a dinner reservation at 7. Or like 5:30.
But
then I enjoy the process of getting ready, and you can roll up at if we have dinner at 6, you can roll up at 5:20, hop in the shower, and be ready to go by 5:30.
And I look fantastic.
You look great.
Doing it, yeah.
That's not how women work.
Well, okay, so this kind of goes back,
Oh, you're just continuing on.
Well, this actually segues into an honorable mention.
Great.
Your punctuality. She is
Has
the
gotten
queen.
better.
She's the queen of being like 5 minutes late. Like, hey,
How long does it take me to get ready?
5 minutes longer than you actually have to get ready.
I do say that.
And she thinks it's funny, and I don't think it's super funny. But if we
I'm
have a
not
dinner
late to
reservation, we are rarely early, which...
No, but we're not late a lot. I know you probably subscribe to the whole if you're on time, you're late.
Yeah, I'm definitely more conservative there. I like to be early.
Right. We are usually on time, and that bothers you. That's
Or
just
3 or 4 minutes late, which isn't
I'm
like
not
a
late to
huge
work,
deal.
though.
No, not very often.
I am, if you're one of the few people that I work out with or I train with, I'm often late, but now it's just kind of like that's the start time because we've established it.
Well,
so
if you're 5 minutes late every day at some point, you just realize
just now
that's
my own
when
time.
you're coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first one, and then my honorable mention. So I would like to pass the microphone over to you for your first one.
Where to start? You know this one. This is one that I shared with you. At the end of your life, well, as my life continues and your life has ended
Because
of
killed me.
purely natural causes.
Yeah.
I think that maybe what might make me realize that you're gone forever is doing a load of laundry and reaching into a pocket of an item of your clothing and for one last time finding a freaking food wrapper shoved
or
in
a
there.
glove from
Yes,
work
or a glove from work.
whatever.
The
yeah.
the
I do that.
amount of it's not even amount because it's usually only one item. The frequency that you shove something non-consequential into your pocket and then it stays there.
Okay, so I can defend that because for many years of our marriage, I would sometimes leave wrappers out, and I would be tastefully berated for that. And so now instead of that, I just put them in my pocket.
To be fair,
I don't do that anymore.
well, it wasn't that you left a wrapper on the countertop. It was that you left the wrapper on the countertop that was directly above the trash can.
Yeah, that's probably because my mind went somewhere else and I totally forgot what I was actually doing.
One would have thought that this problem would have been solved after you had a very large item, an item of quite importance to you that went through the wash because it was in your pocket.
Yeah.
And what was that item?
It was my key fob.
Yes. Of your
Brand
Brand
new
new
car
car.
at the time, yeah. Yeah, and I thought I had lost it.
And not only did it make it through the washing machine, and this is probably more so an attack on myself because I don't think this makes me a very good laundress, but
She does do my laundry, but I pay her. That's a whole new topic.
both of those things are true. It also went through the dryer because I didn't check the pockets beforehand, which my lesson learned.
But
now I check the pockets.
Lo
more,
and
but
behold, it actually still worked
it did, yep.
just fine.
Before I
So
told him I found it, I actually checked. Beep, beep.
I was very surprised that it worked again. I don't know why.
But if you've had the pleasure of being in our clinic, then you know the little needle tabs that we use that come in like the brand new sterile dry needling needles. They're everywhere in our house, not because we have needles here. We do. That's not the point. But they come home in Mark's pockets.
They do, or they like fall on they get everywhere. They fall on your shoes or something. It's just weird. But I am a stasher because I don't like clutter.
Yes. Now that is something that I have remedied. This segues into another one of mine, actually.
Okay, so you're going...
This is my honorable mention. This is my honorable mention.
Okay.
That the gum that we provide to all of our employees as an added bonus and benefit of working at C.O.R.E Physical Therapy comes in. What do we get? Like Orbits? Not Orbit. Yeah, is it? It's in a jar, right? So there's no gum wrappers, thank goodness. Otherwise, you probably would have like 15 gum wrappers in your pockets.
Yeah,
however, the honorable mention is that for some reason, I think because you have the intention of chewing the gum again, occasionally I will find a little mound of chewed gum. And it's not ever on anything like substantially gross. It's usually on your own desk, occasionally on the countertop. It's like you had gum in, you took gum out, and you thought, maybe I'm going to chew this again after I eat what I'm about to eat.
Yeah. If I just put a piece of gum in and I was dictating on my computer, I have to take it out because dictation does not like gum in your mouth.
And so then you set it on the countertop and then there it dies.
Not always. But say I'm wanting a snack, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have some beef jerky. I don't want gum in my mouth, so I take gum out of my mouth. But if the gum was still good,
but you don't go back to it because I find it.
I go back to it. You only find the ones that die, but the ones that go back to, you don't find those because I put them back in my mouth. Okay, honorable mention. Okay, I'm going to number 2.
Okay.
All right, so number 2 is something that does irritate me from time to time. It sounds really bad, too, because it's not really something that she can help. But it doesn't mean it doesn't bother me, but it's not really her fault. My wife sneezes a lot. Like, a lot. And she's
I'm allergic to everything.
Okay, hold on. And I'm sure if she met her untimely death, the silence in the house would be deafening because of their lack of sneezing. And some of the worst things in the morning are waking up to a shotgun sneeze that literally, I don't know if there's like an intruder that just broke a window or somebody shot a shotgun. They're really turkey hunting in my backyard.
Sometimes it wakes me up.
So loud.
Okay, I am allergic to a lot of things. We found this out.
Yeah.
Like
to
2
everything.
years ago.
Everything
yes.
but mold.
Everything but mold.
Which
so
is odd.
Plants, yes. Trees, yes. Dogs, yes. Cats,
yes. And we have a few.
We have a few cats. And so even the allergist, who's a very, very nice man, kind of looked at me judgmental when cats came back as positive. He said, "And you have how many cats?" Which that number won't be disclosed here on.
It's really not important.
But yeah, I'm allergic to cats. And so I sneeze.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm mad at you for it, but I count them sometimes.
Okay, now that
3 to 5, but sometimes I've hit 30, okay? And I'm like, are you okay? Do you need to go to somewhere?
It hurts. If
like,
you sneeze that
are you
much,
doing
it
an ab
hurts.
workout or are you just sneezing?
You know, sometimes if you've ever had this happen to you, I know it happens to my dad too, is that sometimes you sneeze in such rapid succession you don't get a chance to take a breath in between, and that's kind of scary. You kind of run out of air.
I don't know how many deaths by sneezing there are, but
if I could make myself sneeze, I wouldn't.
Right now.
I wouldn't
You
sneeze.
wouldn't sneeze.
I don't enjoy sneezing. The worst, and I don't know.
What she's leaving out, though, is she's a very small, petite person. And when she snores, which is rare, it's super quiet and it's very high-pitched.
What does
It's
snoring have to
endearing.
do with it?
Hold on. Your sneezes, however, are not demure. They are shotgun blasts, all right? They're not quiet.
I'm excited with my whole
Such
chest.
a small person produces such a loud, forceful contraction. I'm impressed, but...
It annoys me as well, because if I sneeze at night, like I have done the skincare routine at night, and I'm all like jellied and oiled up, and I put my Vaseline and my lip treatment on, and I lay down, and if I sneeze, you know what happens is then I have to get up and I have to blow my nose.
Yeah. I mean, there's an honorable mention there because you do like a little horn sound with that nose blow.
I don't want a nose goblin.
All right.
No boogies.
Whew,
Oh,
okay.
hey, number 2.
Okay.
This one you can recreate for everybody, for all 12 people listening.
Can
You slurp your drinks.
I do. And I don't know when that started. I didn't used to do it, though.
It's like you're self-aerating.
Well, I have realized that if you aerate certain drinks,
That's not what you're doing, though.
hold on, it's subconscious. So basically, for some reason, subconsciously, I started slurping my drinks because it aerates the drink, whether it's
That's such BS. You are
it is.
not doing
it's totally
it for that
subconsciously. I didn't realize I was doing it. I didn't always do it.
reason. No, you did.
Aerating
it
drinks make
consciously.
them taste better, just like why you shake a martini or you aerate wine. I aerate my rum and cokes. I aerate my water. Okay, so it's a bad habit. I try very hard not to do it, but now my default is for probably for 10 years, 5 years. So she's very quiet. This is
But you can drink without making a noise.
okay. So if left to my devices, this is my sound. As subtle as it may be.
It's not subtle. It's not subtle at all.
I do. I am aware of it. I don't know why I started doing it. Like, I think it was subconscious. It tastes better when you do that.
No, actually, I think at some point you did it to like annoy me.
And it stuck.
And it stuck. And now it has become ingrained in your personality.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
I've learned to tune it out, but I'm very aware that it's there.
Until I really think about it, though, I'm not even aware that it's happening.
I am.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go to mine.
Third and last.
Number 3.
Yeah, 3 of 3.
There'll be an honorable mention here, too.
You already had it.
Yeah, there can be more. Okay, so number 3 is, and this is kind of like the opposite of my problem, but my wife is an incredibly slow eater. If we're at dinner,
I don't think that's true.
yes, it is. So we will go to dinner, and I consciously am eating quite slowly, like almost like mind-numbingly slowly. Okay. And like it's hard. Okay. It's really hard for me to do this. But she's still like eating and slow. And it can take 30 minutes to go. Your salads are like 30 minutes. I know you like to savor and you think I just shovel it down, but my goodness. So like
You do. Okay, so Mark is one of 4 boys that grew up in his house. And so he would always say, like money was tight growing up. And so if you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat as much as you wanted to. So
I don't sound like that.
if you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat as much.
Well, normally when I'm eating, I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I want to ingest food at a rate that is acceptable.
And so I think probably the truth is somewhere in the middle there. I probably do eat slightly slow, but you eat so incredibly fast that it probably just like magnifies how normal speed I eat.
Probably. And the worst part of that is when I go out to dinner, I'm like consciously trying to slowly eat. Like I'm going to take a sip of water and I'm going to just nicely cut my steak. And then I'm going to dab it in some au jus. And then I'm going to try some green beans because they're good for me.
Au jus. What did I get at Memoir? French
The
dip.
French
I wanted to
dip.
say French silk.
Yeah, not the same. The French
good.
dip at Memoir was fantastic. We'll do we'll do a
Chef's
couple
kiss.
of reviews on restaurants at some point too, but that's a whole different.
Yes, you eat very fast.
I try actually to eat very slowly, but
Now I wasn't going to actually mention this, and this is not an official numbered pet peeve of mine. But
so this is another honorable mention.
Going off of what you just said about how you eat fast, if I go to the store, say I go to... If I go to the store and get steak because Mark's making steak, I have to buy 3 steaks. Not because Mark eats twice as much as me, because he does. He has to have a steak to eat while he's cooking the steak.
All right. So when I'm grilling, I'm usually hungry. I might be having a glass of wine, whatever.
I'm not wrong with my statement that I just made.
Everything you said was true.
Yeah.
But I feel like in order to cook the steaks perfectly well, to the liking of myself, which is different than Claire. She likes medium. I'm a medium rare. I need to consume a steak while cooking. Then I can get my rare in there too.
When we were first married, and maybe this is just like self-preservation that you've learned this. When we were first married, by the time I like plated food and sat down at the table, because that's kind of like we ate at the table as a family, as a one unit when I was growing up. And I don't think that you quite had that. Is by the time I would actually like sit down, Mark was done with his food.
I'm very efficient.
So maybe the steak before the steak is an attempt to kind of like even that out.
I don't know.
It's like you have the cooking steak that you eat while you're cooking. And then you also have like the other steak. It's the steak before the steak.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, when you're hungry and you're making food and you're grilling it and it smells fantastic, to not consume some of it would be kind of a tragedy. I mean, how many people are barbecuing?
It's a disservice really to the cow.
The cow deserves to be consumed in a way that
To have a steak before the steak.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was your third one, yeah?
Yeah, I have one more. Just small one.
Well, my last one, because I don't have that many complaints about Mark, because I'm just
These aren't complaints. These are just little things that are
I'm
pet
an extremely
peeves.
understanding person, and I understand the nuances that make up Mark.
Yeah. Mm.
This one I don't understand though.
I'm waiting for it.
And I'm privy to this information because I've not only stumbled upon this accidentally without knowing how it happened, but I've also observed it happening, and I've observed the aftermath of it happening by the fact that I do indeed do your laundry, but you take your socks off without your hands.
I do. I take my socks off.
By rubbing your foot repeatedly against the like 2 small squares of carpet that we have in our
So
entire
imagine,
house.
if you will, if somebody was trying to take their sock off without their shoe, they basically do like a fake moonwalk to take their sock off
And
without
so
touching their
the
foot.
socks
It's
get
actually
balled
incredibly
up,
inefficient.
And even though he pays me to do his laundry, I'm not sticking my hand in there and unballing each
You
and every
don't have
sock.
to. They'll get clean. They'll
And
fine.
so they get washed like that, and they get dried like that, and they get put away like that. Now, when I say I have stumbled upon it, unknowing what transpired to make them that way until I actually observed what happened,
Yeah, they roll up onto a mall.
is that you would do it in the middle of the night. And they would be in the bottom of the bed.
Yeah, when it's winter time, I go to bed with socks on sometimes because my feet get cold, and then later they get warm, and so then I can take off my socks with my toes. So yeah, there was a time, I don't do it as much anymore, but at our old place, we definitely had a concoction of socks at the end of the bed because it would get stuck between the sheets and the bottom of the mattress, and you'd be like, oh, there's like 8 pairs of socks there. Oops.
And then they would always be balled up, and I was like, oh, he must like take his toe and like slide it off.
I do.
But then I have seen him, I have observed in the wild the repeated stepping to get the sock off.
It's like you're pawing at them.
Yes.
Works like a charm. Anyway, it's incredibly efficient. It probably doesn't help mobility because I should just like sit down and take my sock off, but I can do it while standing up. I can do a lot of things standing up that you can't do.
Touche. Well, I guess you have more complaints about me because I'm out. I'm fresh out.
I don't really have many.
I'll see if something comes to mind here in the next several seconds. What's your one additional honorable mention?
My other honorable mention would be just clutter. I'm a very simple-brained male. I like symmetry. I like sparsity. I like minimalism. And sometimes we have too much clutter or things get left out. I would prefer to just throw that into a drawer and stash it
Okay, so
rather than look at it.
I guess we have the same pet peeve about each other then.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Is that you have the desire to have the appearance of neat and tidy and orderness. I have the desire to have neat and tidy orderedness. And so if there are things left out that don't belong there, then I keep them out because I know that they have to go to their home. They have a home. Mm-hmm. You would be okay throwing a pair of shoes in a cabinet because they were gone.
I wouldn't do that with my shoes, but if you were leaving shoes out, sometimes I'll take them to your closet, and sometimes I'll just stash them because I don't want them out.
You know what
bothers me.
You know what you have not put away?
What?
My pair of Birkenstocks that are in.
My garage.
Your garage.
For those who don't know, we have separate mudrooms and garages. We have a courtyard-style house with garages that don't interact with each other. So we have his and
Well, I
hers.
actually did take them out because I needed them to go. I only have a pair of Birkenstocks so that I can put them on and run up to the mailbox.
Yeah, Birks are not my favorite
I know.
sexy shoe.
And so I leave them out to mock.
Yeah, you do often.
Mm-hmm. So I guess, yeah, your pet peeve is my pet peeve as well.
That's fair.
Although I will say, I will admit this about myself, is that my particular style of like actively organizing is piles. And so like if I have 2 or 3 things where I'm like, oh, I have to go through this, like there will be a pile of things and I know what the pile is, but unless I get to it, then the pile
sometimes
exists.
that pile stays for a while.
And sometimes I know that the pile exists, but unfortunately sometimes the pile persists.
Well, there's a pile of Tupperware on the island right
100%,
now
yep.
that has been there more than 24 hours.
Okay, probably like 48.
72. And it's been bothering me. I just want to put it put it away.
I kind of want to get rid of it.
Then
it's like the
get
cheapest,
rid of
it's
it.
like Gladware. But then as soon as you get rid of it, then you need it.
Yeah. Well, then you'll buy more
Well,
stuff.
I had to wait for the Pyrex to get clean at work.
All right, that's the last one.
Is it though?
Today it is. Well, this has been fun.
You've been listening to Straight to the Core.
This has been fun. I feel like I might be a victim of domestic violence after this one, but
look at all things health, wellness, and the business of physical therapy.
yeah.
As always, check out the Happy Couple on C.O.R.E
wife,
Omaha.
Happy life.
CoreOmaha.com. Instagram is C.O.R.E Omaha, and Facebook, just Facebook, C.O.R.E Physical Therapy and Sports Performance.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing.
High five your wife.
Judging us for being real people.
Well, this was fun.
On that note.